Welcome back to Sunday OJ to episode. We're gonna just put dot 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 because I honestly forgot what episode is this. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday to Scream because we missed all of that on the time we was our schedules is all delayed, I guess. Um, a lot's been going on since then though. Um, if you guys want to talk about it,
We could call this season three maybe because it's a new year, new blessings, new lifestyles. Not
new
to not
life in
to
the league.
yeah, not to say that season two ended properly, but like you just mentioned, so people can understand a little better. My son's first birthday passed. Had to do a lot of things for that, but we didn't get to really have his actual birthday party. He had got sick the week of his birthday, so we were supposed to go to Surge, do a whole big jump party with kids, parents, things like that. But he ended up getting sick during a Christmas photo shoot. And maybe
Mm.
I ain't gonna put the pictures in here, but I'll send them to you guys. Pictures are very beautiful. So he got sick, and then I got sick. I didn't have the flu at that point. I had just like had a very bad cough, bad headache, sinus infection probably. So we dealt with all that. Then I just went on vacation last week. Went to Miami for my 30th birthday, so that was very fun. But somebody in
Woo-hoo.
the airport, pretty much, they don't have a mask mandate. There was a lot of people on the plane coughing, sneezing, all that good stuff. So I came back Thursday the 12th, went to the doctor. Turns out I had the flu. My mother had the flu. My lady actually had COVID. She's taken 2 negative tests. She's COVID free now. So I had a lot going on the last week in general. We were supposed to record last week, and this time it fell on me because of getting sick. As far as all the
Mm.
other stuff, I finally learned what it was like to be a dad and have to deal with holiday shit, man. So yeah.
Mm. Well, at least you guys are all out to clear from that. I had COVID as well. I just got over that, and whoa, looks like oh there you go. He's back. He's back. But Mr. Weezy, you said you had a lot to say. We can ease into what you got to say because I know you're a very talkative man. Hey, Chubbs, you there?
Yo, you can't call
he's, his mic is on mute, but I mean while he gets that going, um, so you
Oh,
guys. Oh, there you
I'm
go. There you
back.
go.
My bad. Can you hear me?
You forgot how to work the phone? Hey,
No,
it's been that long.
first off, your intro was weak as hell. Your shit was weak. It was rushed. All that.
It's been a while. Let me ease back into the into the
Nah,
flow of
that shit was
things.
weak. That shit was horrible.
You won this. You know what? You actually beat me in the argument right now. You got it. You win because that shit was weak as hell.
That shit was weak. Shit sound like some bullshit.
What you wanted me to say? Go ahead. Let me see how you just brought it in.
I wanted you to be hyped. That shit was like you was rushed. Like, fuck you rushing for? You out of breath.
Well, he's out of breath
I
because he
got
just had COVID.
yeah.
Nah,
Jesus
you want to come
Christ.
back hype.
I
And no,
sound
but
like you
listen,
right now.
yeah, it's crazy how like everybody life like how we talk in the Discord every day. Like us three we talk every day in the text messages. So I already knew half the shit y'all was talking about, but what I had to say was I'm happy we did do the reboot, whatever you want to call it, because if we would have waited one more day on my
Get,
mama,
get it, get it, get into that. What happened with all that?
um, basically Madden being Madden like always. For the past, I think this is correct me. Not, I'm not wrong. I mean, not. Let me know if I got it wrong. And I don't know. It's the second or third Madden straight we had to do this over. What is it, OG?
Think it's the second because it was just last Madden when all
So
that
imagine
bullshit went
us.
on.
So imagine you get in the game early, 3 days early. August. Blah blah blah. Same thing. It happened. Last year we had to wait to October. We waited October to start the league. Then we started October. Some more bullshit had to go along with it. So it's like for this to happen again, it's draining.
Yeah, yeah, it sucks. We should all just go to PC and play NCAA.
Like, and it's draining because people got the teams how they like it now. We was on what year 3 or year 4, y'all? I forgot.
I wasn't in
we
there, so I can't tell
we
you.
were in year 3. We had just we were 2 weeks out of the year 3 playoffs. And just to give everybody a small reminder of how the first 2 years went, Super Bowl 1 was the Broncos versus the Packers. The Broncos won that Super Bowl, and then everything that went with that. You know,
And he
Brady was no
left
longer
over a
in the league.
trade.
He left over a trade. He was very upset with OG for backing out. He dipped the server, and you know when he came back after everything, and then the reboot came, he was not offered a team due to that circumstance. So, you know, it's still shout out Bang. Bang is a dope dude. It doesn't take away from that. And then moving on to year 2, Fitz made it to the bowl. I forget who Fitz played out of the AFC.
Damn, that's
No,
wrong.
it's not that I forget who he played because
It
I
was so
forget the
long
person.
ago.
It was so long ago. But we always talk
So long.
about, oh, champ this, champ that. And, you know, now Fitz is retired. So
Yeah.
it's like they keep trying to bring him back. But I genuinely forget out of the AFC because Vale lost to Itchy. And it was Itchy versus... Who was it? I really don't remember. Like, I'm trying to think. And I can't. Maybe I have to go to my channel and look at the Super Bowl call. I don't remember.
Was
I
it
think
T Hoyt? Was it T Hoyt?
it was T
Matter of
Hoyt
fact,
actually. It was T Hoyt, and that's no disrespect to T Hoyt because they played in the regular season, and it was a
okay.
wager game actually. So it was a
Mhm.
Super Bowl rematch, and then Fitz came down I think last drive for him, and then he won.
I
it
think
on the last
some
drive.
controversy happened. I think some controversy happened in that game too, if I'm not mistaken. I believe some with a punt, something happened, and yeah, I don't remember clearly.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was very long ago. But you know, Fitz took home Super Bowl 2. And then year 3 comes. Middle of the season,
I
EA tried to put
I
Fitz
heard
out. You heard us, man.
I heard you press the button again. I heard you drop the controller again, Keith. That's right.
Nah, that's not what happened this time. I am a very frequent controller dropper, which is very terrible. Uh, you know, we ain't gonna talk about that though. I will say this
Cause
though.
I heard
I'll be petty. I will be petty. If we do development again, I don't mind being the head. I just leave that there.
I
What
I
did he
heard
say?
y'all was
No, what
I
did he
heard
say?
y'all
Because
was
it broke up. What did he say?
he said he's willing to take over the league, but he said he's willing to be the head honcho.
That's not
But
what I said, but okay.
So what did you say? Because it broke up. All I heard was I don't want to be petty, and whatever you
No,
said.
I was just saying that if we went that development route again, because a lot of people are retiring, so obviously you got to find new blood. I don't mind being a scout guy if that needs to be that, and see if people are good or not. You know, so that's all.
mm. But I heard y'all crumbled the league because y'all was scared of Val and them Chiefs. That's what I was hearing through the grapevine. I heard everybody
Boy,
was scared
shut
of them
your ass
Chiefs.
up, boy.
That's what I heard. I was out the league.
No,
You know what
I'll
I'm
say
saying?
this much. I think
That's what I heard.
Vale and Trent easily had the 2 best teams in the league. Like, bruh, like, okay, so trade-wise, Trent freaking got Marlon Humphrey while keeping Stokes and Alexander. So he had 3 corners off the muscle. Then I traded Trent Judon, so he had 2 edge threats. So everybody was looking at Vale versus Trent is the bowl, and if it doesn't happen, then one of them suck, basically. You know how people are. They love you when you're great. They hate you when you ain't. So,
Well, I
Can I
said
be a
we
funny
don't
guy
know who
real
it's going.
fast? Can
Go
I be a
ahead.
funny guy real fast? If the
Go ahead.
league was to pop up, right? I want to hear both of your opinions. Like if it was to
No, we not.
regarnish.
No. I'm not
Okay,
dropping the league.
that's your okay. Now what's Keith's opinion? Can I finish the question real fast? So if the
I-
old league was to reappear, would you guys play in it or play in the new league now?
But the reason why I'm gonna let Keith think, you guys playing the new league because now we have new users. That makes sense.
Oh, true.
It's
Ooh,
not like we have
that's very true.
like Fisky. That's not the team he would want, and then who would take whose team? Because Solo has the
True.
Cardinals now, but in the other league he had AFC East with the Jets,
Okay.
and then now what's his name? What's Jay? He got the Seahawks now. He had the other. So no, we got new users for a lot of different people. So no,
That's a very very good point. Didn't think about it
I get
like
what
that.
people saying. If people saying that way because the end of the day, everybody's about what I. So the other team is better, and like Trent had the Chiefs, now Jarrell got the Chiefs. He had the Packers, blah blah blah. Panthers, Vikings. Like, no, people just think about I because their team was better. I mean, I get why, but nobody's going back because what about the other users? And then you can't make somebody go off their team. Like, what about the people who had a second team last time got a better team this time? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it makes there's new energy to this new reboot. So like
Yeah,
it
everybody's
makes
playing.
sense.
Nobody's bitching. I think nobody's really bitching. Nobody's really mad no more. I think it's the fact that we just got to start up. We got to do the trades over, and you got to build your team up to how you like it, or vice versa, or just whatever.
Yeah, that
Like,
sucks.
Yeah,
That
that
sucks.
like
that everything that he's
that's the
saying is
only
pretty
thing.
much how I feel too. I do miss my old team, even though the only player I really built was a quarterback, and they think I ain't even built that. But I'm not blaming Weezy, but
What?
we gave.
Eh?
But we're gonna bring it back up
Huh?
because it was a really heavy talking point that everybody got gifted a free XF because Sunday OJ said so. That's not even how it happened. We literally just y'all begged us to do the content thing, give y'all a podcast, and y'all listen and want rewards. Weezy gave y'all a XF chance, and some of y'all didn't take it. The same way right now, this very second, because it's week 3, right, Weezy? Like the
Mhm,
wager thing ends after this week, like tonight at Advance.
mhm.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, the division joint.
So Weezy came up with a great idea. He said that division winners now, if you can get all 8 division winners correct, similar to FanDuel where you win money, you can win a free superstar dev upgrade to any player before the start of week 1. It literally says any
Except
player
for rookies. Except for rookies. Except for
except for
rookies. It
rookies
is.
that you draft. It
I,
cannot be a
I feel
drafted
that. I
rookie.
know.
So that means a free
Right.
agent. That means a trade. And it has to
Yep.
happen
Yep.
not
Yep.
preseason week 1, just regular week 1 before your game,
Yep.
basically. So Weezy's giving out opportunities, and people are complaining that they're not taking advantage of the opportunities. All we ask of you guys is to listen, like, share the content, comment on the content, what you do like, what you don't like. I mean, think about it. Y'all told us, oh, don't have the episodes over an hour. What did we do? Almost every episode from that moment has been roughly an hour, 5 minutes. Go look at the
Man,
YouTube. Cheap plug.
man, this is why I don't be giving a fuck about opinions. But I'm sorry, but keep going.
No, but you're right at the same time. Sometimes we just can't care. But this says right here, all 8 teams you pick must be submitted by the beginning of week 4, meaning once they advance. And there's only one game left as of this recording, which is Rhino versus My Caddy at 8 o'clock. So
And we don't have all 32 users to do it. That's what I'm saying. I give y'all free chances. Y'all don't do it, and you complain about it. And before I make that post,
over
not to
half
cut you
the
off,
league, though, bro. You said 18 out of 32 people. That's over half the league.
I'm free. All you
Imagine
gotta do is
that.
type it or copy and paste. These people just so lazy. Just or if not, if you don't want to type it, just copy and paste it just to just do it. But people complain, and it's right there in your face. Like it's literally right there. All you do is just pick 8 teams, but they don't want to do that.
Sometimes it's because I'll leave my comment out there. But anyway, that was a great idea. That was
Very elite idea.
very great idea yeah, it was. I like that idea.
You
Yeah,
know,
and
uh,
if that's it, everybody do it. Like if everybody do it, maybe you might get something.
But
Can
but
happen.
I wanna rewind real fast when you said they said it's because Sunday OJ gave out a free X Factor, but it wasn't free, and 2 is no different from when people get to me it was silly ass Thanksgiving plates and Christmas gifts.
Christmas,
Like
like we just got
the
Christmas.
the holiday dev traits. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
it's the same thing.
it
You
is
have
the
to
same thing.
participate.
You have to participate in
The only
something to
the
get something.
the only thing different here is that as fellow users and former user, we would like for our fellow users to listen to us and promote us and throw us out there, and it's the right thing to do. Just like my caddy's throwing out content, I watch his joint, I promote it, or whatever. It's about unity, and that's how you grow. Or we want to grow, and if we grow, they grow. If they grow, we grow. But everybody, I guess, hey,
So
hey,
are you coming back to get a team or what?
no. That's
Interesting.
a no with an exclamation point too.
That's a hard no.
It's a hard no, yeah, because yeah, I got good things I got to focus on right now. And
Well, I just
to be honest, not to be toxic or nothing, but since I left, like I've gotten an A in my class, like, and I need to stay above B level
that's good.
work because if not,
Just
you
stay in
you
the
you
chat.
you in the medical field, like if you don't and you took class courses, if you don't stay above B, you can't go get into these
Yeah,
courses.
I ain't gonna fuck with you. So definitely, I mean, I'm happy you said that and told the truth. So don't get on Madden, and then just stay in the chat because we do like to hear your opinion and talk shit.
Ah,
Like I
yeah,
said, I know we
sometimes
talk.
sometimes it gets a little too for me.
I
So
mean,
that's
because
why
you
I have
gotta
to
think.
pull
I
back.
mean, think about it, bro. We playing with the same people for the past what 5, 6 years max. 5,
Yeah.
6 years. So think about how many days that is. Think about how many. It's not like we close up shop once Madden is over. We don't talk no more. We still in the same. We went from group me to what? What was it, Keith? Group me, then
Slack.
what was it? Slack to this. So we talk every day. I mean, we as in the main core people. Obviously, Usher, we got our own text group, but like the other people, like Fitsky, everybody, we talk every day in the chat for the past 5, 6 years. That's more than fucking 1,000 days. So of course, we kind of know some people, and obviously new people we don't know. So we're not talking about them, but like the main people. You know what I'm saying? We talk every day, even when Madden is over. Like when Madden is over, what the what's it called? What's the month's called when it's over? What's it called? Disney chips or?
Oh yeah, the Disney's. Yeah.
But I
The
don't
off
care if I
seasons.
June, July when you just playing just to play. Like
No,
we
but,
still,
but but we can't say that no more. Remember, we banned that a couple episodes ago. We don't
but
we
yeah,
don't say
like
Disney's. We don't say.
we're like we still talking when Madden's over and we like go outside touch grass. Like we talking about basketball, then we talking about
See,
baseball. We talking shit. So like it's
I
bigger than just Madden. That's why I was like, even if you don't play, you still gotta play you still gotta stay in the Discord chat because we talk about everything. Like earlier we was talking about what were we talking about? We was talking about Dana White
no,
one time. Go ahead.
I have no because I like what you're saying, but this is why I want to instead of this us being just a AGS podcast. I got one opinionative person to my right and one facts person to my left. Right. I'm not saying you're not a facts person, Weezy, but you're very opinionated. We need to pivot on to real shit too, talking about real football, real basketball, real shit. And it be heard like for instance, what were we just talking about? Derek Carr and Geno Smith. Um, and how you guys feel. Well, not you, Keith wasn't there. How you feel Geno Smith is better than Derek Carr? Like stuff like that we need to pivot into too, because I mean it's only so much we could talk about the league and inside the league and with the league being uh kind of derailed in a sense and starting
You talking
over.
about our league or NFL league in real life? Which league?
I'm talking about we should start pivoting to real talk, like how we were just talking about Geno Smith and Derek Carr, because we can't keep wasting you and Keith's how can I
Opinions on
call it?
yes.
Skills. See, I got skills when it comes to like debating and talking. You know what I'm saying? Keith is very, very knowledgeable, very facts, or like he spits his facts, and even though you have facts, but I'm gonna say it, you're a biased one side person, but you bring your facts with that one side. It'll be cool if we have different guests, whatever. I'm talking um brainstorming on the podcast, but yeah, that's what we should start pivoting to.
I think we can do that. We can do that right now.
Yeah, I agree. That's something similar.
That's not. We can do this right now.
Yeah, that's something similar that I was doing with Give Us a Break, and we'll continue to do when ever me, G, and Lefty figure that out. Because the same way the scheduling is kind of crazy, it's kind of crazy on the other end. Like Left works third shift. Like I don't know how he do it.
That's some stink shit.
And that's a shitty.
So it's hard to get with your mans when one of you works full time, one of you, another one of you is full time, and then when y'all getting
The other-
yourself calm down, the other person's going to work, so you just never have time for stuff. And to speak on the skills fact thing that you mentioned, I do want to address something because it rubs me the wrong way, and I'd rather set the tone right so that everybody can stop doing the shit. When I give my opinion on things, for example, like me and Weezy got into it real bad. Like when OG would tell you I was hot, like hot. But when y'all make the claim to anybody, it's not even about me at this point. It's about people in general who like to use facts as a basis on things. You are not better or you're not more correct than somebody because you try to win an argument or a discussion by saying, oh, you think you know it all or you think you know everything. It's not about knowing everything. If I provide facts to my opinion, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just giving my opinion. And Weezy made a great counterpoint to this because I told him he cried and complained. And he said back, how is it crying and complaining because you give your opinion? So he saw how I felt. And that's why I didn't say nothing to him about it because he understood the other side of the coin now. So be careful when you tell people, oh, they think they know it all or you only want to be right. how is giving your opinion about something trying to be right when you're just giving your opinion? You never know how that mentally makes people feel. And we talk about mental health all the time on this show. Like you said, we pivoting, right? We talk about mental health here all the time. So I'm not saying it affected my mental health to a point where I was mad or nothing like that. But other people may be affected in a different way. Other people may like want to give up on Madden or some. I don't know. I'm not them. I can't speak for them. But, you know, just be careful how you tell people certain stuff when giving your opinion. And it goes for me, too. I hold myself accountable to that. And
Wait,
again,
wait. But you can't hold yourself back
no,
from.
I'm not holding myself back at all. That's why I'm addressing it head on, because again, me and Weezy got into it and he called me a liar basically. That shit set me off because it's like, bro, I don't lie. And then that's when I
Yo,
came in the chat and we
yeah.
talked about it. I'm leaving it there. I ain't giving all the details. So
But
it's like,
but to,
go ahead.
today's society fucks everything up. Like trolling, it makes it hard to give an opinion because
100%.
when you give an opinion, and a troll is gonna tell you, "Boo, you're lying," just to get under your skin. Not saying that's what.
Oh, he cut out bad internet.
Man, whatever you just said, all I heard was Pat saying, "Ain't his shit else." He
Bad
could have said,
internet.
"Help me, please."
He
He
over
could
there
have said,
still talking too
"He
much.
could have said, help me, please." I mean, his shit. He said,
He over there still talking too much.
he still is right now.
I don't
OG.
I don't think he can hear us.
Oh, his light went out. Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Well,
he
since
out bad.
he can't hear you, I'll just talk. Yeah,
My bad.
Oh,
you
look, he
back now?
back.
There, my shit was
He
kicking.
went into
This shit
My
retirement
ties
for
is
back.
real.
my ties is kicking. But now I was just basically saying the trolling it kind of de- uh derails opinions or facts because you're not allowed to state an opinion or fact because the troll's gonna tell you you're wrong. I'm not saying that's what Weezy did, but calling Weezy a crybaby like how we all do, like you crying for an opinion. That's become the norm, which is it just shouldn't. We should just listen to his opinion and then a healthy debate, and that's not nothing's healthy no more. Everything's uh weak, you're weak minded or blah blah blah. I can't take an opinion, can't take a debate. That's what it's leading to.
That's true. Because, like you said, OG, like you told me, like you feel like y'all started that. Somebody have a different opinion, they're crying, which they're not crying. They just having a different opinion. Like,
Hmm. What do you consider crying though?
I mean
oh,
that was the troll way of being like, all right, you ain't getting your way, so now you trying to take it somewhere to make it seem like only you are right and nobody else can say anything else.
Mm.
It's not like reverse trolling, but it's literally like, all right, this how you about to act because you don't feel like you getting your way. That's
yeah. Like,
it's like a child.
Spoiled.
It's
so,
like a child.
like, okay. When somebody, okay, so let's bring in the AGS rules. So let's say when Keith and them came up with the idea of making the 250 thing, as you pass 250 where rushing yards or receiving, that's a suspension or whatever. If somebody have an opinion, like, okay, the Steelers, when he was talking about it, there was, to me, he wasn't crying. He was just trying to understand. But the next person say, bro, you crying, it's the rules, get over it. But he's not crying. He just having an opinion. Like when L Mel was still L Mel, he was saying like it wasn't a good idea. And like, yo, bro, you crying. He's not crying. He just have a different opinion of what he felt. And like, if he don't say nothing, how he gonna get his where somebody else thinking? If all the people think the same way, you have one. If everybody think the same way in the league, nothing ever's gonna change. So you got to hear what somebody else got to say. Like that's how I was at work. I got to it at work the other day with my manager. Yeah, everybody feels some way about something. My higher manager meets my everybody felt way about something, and I feel opposite. I had something to say. Like that's just how what I'm holding in, keep it to myself. Then
There's a
my
time and a
question,
place for everything though. Just to say that, but go ahead.
I get that, but you can't be disrespectful. But like I'm just saying, I feel like we when I mean we as in the whole league, because outside of real life, we don't say that shit. In the league, I think we throw away crying and you bitching over anything. If somebody says the opposite, you think they're crying. Like I don't think El Mel was crying. I think he just had an opinion about how he don't think it's a good idea. He's
Yeah,
not crying.
he had a great way of addressing it too, because he was just saying like that's crazy. He wasn't saying like, oh, you know, and this is all examples by the way. Oh, y'all are
Yeah,
bitch made, y'all trying to control. None of that stuff was said. You know what I'm saying? It
yeah,
was more, you know, from his standpoint, he didn't understand why. Because if it's a tie game and it's a close game, but the misunderstanding, and this is where I would like to clear it up. Once again, people are not reading it entirely. It literally says it's subject to review. It's not a guarantee. They're like, okay, the Omega thing, right? Y'all think it was a guarantee? No. What happened was he had been forcing the ball to Quez all game underneath because AJ Brown got hurt. I watched the game back on vacation. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all. On my birthday, nonetheless.
Nah.
Oh no, you
It
need
it
some
might have been the day
cheeks.
before.
He
It might
needs
have been
some
the day before,
cheeks.
or it was the day we was
Cheeks.
leaving. Whatever.
Cheeks.
It was probably the day we was leaving. So that or on the way back home when I had the
Yeah,
whole
you
play
better
PS
fix that
thing.
up, bro, please. When you was on the
No,
plane waiting
bro.
for the plane, you watch it over.
Bro, I mean, we was in the airport for 6 hours, man. So it probably was that
There
day.
you
I
go.
don't remember though.
That's when you
That's
watched
what
it.
I'm trying to remember. It was one of those. I don't remember the day. I just got over the flu. My brain isn't here still. But to the point, he had like 13 catches, and the last catch he was at like 228, and he threw a zig route, and then he took that joint like 40 yards. But on the play before, it showed Quez had X amount of catches, 228 yards. So he could have saw it. He might not have saw it. I'm not the judge of that. But that's why immediately after the play, he hit start and he went to see, damn, Quez is over the limit. Let me stop throwing to him or take him out the game. In that situation, the committee basically voted and said, if the yards came up on screen and he paused immediately after that play was over, he knew already.
He knew.
So that was the determining factor in the suspension. He was not picked on. It wasn't that, Quez got the yardage, he got to get suspended. It was subject to review. The game was reviewed. Suspension was the answer. So y'all can still keep going and doing the thing. And this is the part Weezy was about to explain to y'all. The basis behind the rule is the dev traits. Superstar X Factor, you have to get 200 yards or 4 touchdowns for receivers at least, and I believe running back. Tight end is probably the same. So when we were talking, we were just like, okay, let's just make it 250 yards flat or 4 touchdowns, whichever comes first. That way you can't complain and say, I had a dev game. That cannot be an excuse anymore. I didn't know. I didn't know I couldn't stop throwing at him. I had a dev game. That's always been the excuse, man. He had a dev game. I got a dev game. I'm going to just keep doing it because I need the development because y'all not going to give it to me for free, which is where that spoiled stuff come from. If you don't get a free dev, you're going to go, not necessarily cheese, but spam for it. So we just, that was the thought process behind it. Like, okay, you still can go for dev games. You will not be penalized for however many catches it is at all. As long as the yardage does not meet that criteria, that does not need to be reviewed. Now, on the other hand, if somebody do report somebody just spamming one player and one player only, that's still subject to review too. But
there's great.
So speaking of rules, I'm not gonna say people cry, but this is what people talk about because he when somebody say you crying. How come like I still don't understand why the league. OG, you can speak on it now. You're not a commission, so I still want to hear your opinion. How come the commission team haven't still let us users carry on our dev treat scenarios if the user can't play or if you got to force a win? People say you can break. People, hold on, let me finish. They say you can take pictures of shit, but it's like you can't. All you gotta do is take a picture. So if we're in week 5 and you just play somebody week 4, your points got to match who you played week 4 and shit. So it's like let people get a chance to have their next week if they got a force win. Like I think that's fair. They earned it. So example, I remember one game, Keith. I remember one game. I swear, you had a superstar, you won a superstar or a star or something, and next game you wasn't able to play. You got a force win or some shit. I remember. So it's like, how come you can't? It's not about because you're my friend, but it's like even if it was me or anybody, like why you can't get a chance to redeem your next game if you got a star and a superstar and your next game was X Factor and you can't play because you got a force win, how is that fair? So now what? Now it's gone. You see what I'm saying? Like
it's gone regardless. If once you force him, even if you get it the next game, you're
no,
not
that's what
gonna
I'm saying. So
get
if you,
the next.
I'm saying if you got a superstar, your next game you got to get this 250 to get an X Factor, but you got a force win, so now you don't get a chance to get your X Factor because your user can't play. So
So
how is that fair to the user who got a chance to win his X Factor that he earned? And then he don't get it because we don't allow him the next game. Like, how come we still won't
what I can
approve?
say from the rules committee side of that is we have not brought that up yet.
What?
And that's where I pass it over. Since we created the committee, it hasn't been posted in that chat since. So anything that was before it, we just haven't talked about it. So I'm not saying if you go in there, you type it again, it'll come up. But obviously, at some point, it will.
But it's
but
type
it
every.
just hasn't yet. Is all I can really say on that. And then I give it back to OG because as a former commish, he has more insight on it than I do.
I mean,
The way I
I'm
just
not
broke it
man.
down, you can't really even debate that. What I just
You
said.
can't you can't. It goes into being
It's,
like to me into being spoiled. I mean,
that's you're not looking at the big picture.
no. I am hearing you. If you don't
Hold
get it,
on,
you take a
before you
picture
tell
of
me,
the
I'm
other
gonna say it one more
situation.
time. So let's say, hold on, before you, I'm gonna let you talk after this. I promise. So let's say, OG, you are not. I'm just making up assumptions, just going on. But let's say,
Don't involve me in those scenarios because you
okay,
know
so
I
let's
don't give
say
a damn.
me. Okay, me. I'm not a good passer. I'm not really a passer for real. I'm not a good passer. So if I earn fucking Christian Watson got 200 receiving yards in one game, and I hit superstar. In the next game, okay, bro, you play again, you get an X factor. And the user who I'm playing can't play, that mean, and then I don't get it. That mean I get it. I feel like I deserve another chance to get my X factor on the user who I'm about to play next because it's not my fault. My opponent can't play. So why don't I get a chance to show y'all my picture of my X factor? You see, I got my superstar last game. Why don't I get a chance to prove it to the next user I got to
I
play?
okay.
Is that more you can debate about that?
I just yeah. There's a lot I could debate
It's
about
not.
this. Yeah, I'm
It is a
breaking
lot
down
you
to
can
you.
debate. I see both
I'm gonna
sides of it.
I just want to break it down this way. Like this is my first way I want to break it down. Right? You guys may not agree, but from my time of being a commish, everybody always wants, but nobody never gives. And that's always an issue for me because everybody want. But when we ask for, hey, can we get a little content? Hey, can we get a little write stories week by week basis? Can we do this? Can we do that? You asking for people to do wages. Nobody wants to do that type of stuff. But when it comes to this other stuff, they want it. How I play it is like, all right, cool. And it's not cool. People gonna say, "Oh, you give to get, whatever."
Mhm.
I, I like the if this league right, AGS, it could have been real big. I'm talking about bigger than whatever league is out there right now that's on top. And I say that because we had a family based users like we had a solid 28 users, probably 4 rotating doors, maybe 2 rotating doors to be honest with you. But nobody wants to input nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. So now we stuck with a stagnant lead with everybody wants, but nobody giving. Now it comes to this. Like and it also becomes I don't want to even I'm not pointing out no fingers, no nothing. I'm just saying it also comes to being soft. When you soft and everybody want and you start giving, it's not good. Everything starts crumbling. Everybody start getting what they want. And it starts getting out of control and it's the free fall now.
You know,
So
So
that's actually a
that got to
great
do?
point.
What does that got to do
so
with me get my X factor
cause
that I?
cause because this is my thing. Everybody always wants. I'm not saying you easy because you do a lot.
Go ahead,
I'm
man.
just speaking in the
My
general
bad.
of the users. You get what I'm saying?
So basically,
Everybody
right?
want.
I think what you're trying to say in a shorter term sense is like the respect for the league is not what it once was when you give things and don't receive it in return. So, for example, you know, like you just mentioned the stories. Originally, we all had the AGS Twitters. Every user had a Twitter, and once you got done with your games, it was not mandatory necessarily, but it kind of was. Go to Twitter, win a loss, tag the league, like everybody else stuff, or favorite it back then. You know, Twitter changed a lot recently.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's cool. Yeah,
so
Mhm.
it's just about, you know, okay, the league gave you something, now put back into the league. There's no
yeah.
investment or respect for the league in a sense, and we're not saying this is true. Please do not, JPack, don't kill me. That's not what I'm saying. Um, but it's just more like you want all 32 invested, not just 16, not just 10.
Even if it's 16 to 20, we don't even. You guys don't even have that. You get what I'm saying? Like when Weezy throw out wages, there's probably a solid 10 people doing them all the time, and that's you know what I'm saying. So then it starts coming like, am I really wasting my time doing this for free and nobody's investing in it how I'm investing in it? And this is what I'm saying. And then when certain things don't go people's way, they want. Like, hey, this thing go my way. Let me get this. But what are you investing into the
You
league?
know what's even crazier? And I think I can speak best to that because look at commentary. I don't. I'm not trying to be funny, and this is nothing against anybody in any league. Like I don't do this to get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like it could pay me. It definitely can bring, you know, income to me and my family, a little more stability if it wants to. But I'm not in this for the money. I'm in it because I
And
love football. Like he said, I have a skill. I love talking
And,
football. I know the game very well. So it's rewarding in content for me on Twitch, which is like cool. I want to be a Twitch partner. Commentary is part of the reason I'll get
I'm
there.
glad you said that though,
So no,
because
and I'll address it now because me and you have talked about it, and 2023 is
but
a year
before
about going.
you get on your end, I just also want to say too, because it gets. Listen, JPack was doing graphics right for the team reveal. 30, we talking about 32 graphics. Sometimes 64 because it had to be doubled out
Mm-hmm.
of this goes this way, this goes this way. People are rushing the process where hey, this
And
got to
people
get done
quitting and
here,
leaving because they ain't getting certain teams and stuff.
and then
Exactly.
for your comment of commentary, graphics need to be made. And JPack is the only person besides Rhino, shout out to Rhino, that does graphics. I mean, I try, but I'm not as good as them two. Them two is elite. Like I
Mm-hmm.
could do my memes and all this stupid stuff, but as far as graphics and making them look as beautiful as JPack and Rhino does, I can't. I try to invest myself into that. I couldn't. I invest myself into like the podcasting, the videography that I be trying to do, but we need to see steps from other people doing that. Like, hey, maybe I can try to do a graphic. Let me try for these guys to what's his name? Try to do it too. He's a new user too. I think he's a Saints user. He was doing his thing
Oh
with
yeah,
graphics and
Portland
stuff.
Portland Storm,
But
Young Trey,
but
the new TikTok.
yeah, yeah. But this is what we need. We need young energy like that that's willing to invest themselves into something. Because listen, let's be all real here, right? All of us, a league, right? Let's say we've been doing this 7 years. We do it for fun, but sometimes you want to be like, yo, you start sitting and thinking like, yo, and this has always been my thought. And Weezy can he can side with me on this because I was arguing in the commish chat about this. Like we could have been very bigger than a lot of leagues. That was always my view. My view, because I don't care to play. I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. I don't give. I'm competitive, yes, but my whole thought process on the league was making it bigger, and that was my frustration. Like, yo, these users ain't helping out. They want, but nobody want to give. Like you see, Weezy coming up with ideas with the wager points, fire, doing his thing with the division wager points, fire. You with the commentary, fire. But like outside of that is what we getting. Even Wang, and credit to Wang because he was writing stories every day,
But you know
and we
what
could
though?
all agree to
I'm gonna
that.
pick back off both of y'all on what you said about how users don't want to help out, even for their own self. We have multiple users complaining about their ranking on the reboot list.
Hmm,
I
hmm,
want to talk
So
about that. I'm so glad you brought it up.
I know I'm gonna say my little piece, then you're gonna get more of the big picture. So people complain about where they're on the ranking list, but they're not writing stories for themselves. They're not in the chat talking. So it's like your ranking list not that high because what you bringing to the league. You're not
mm.
writing a story. Screaming, that's hit or miss. That don't make you. That's just up for you to scream the game. We're not talking about that. You're not writing no stories. You're not in the chat talking. You're not playing enough games. All that shit counts to points. All that shit counts towards your ranking list of where you at. Like you're not doing shit else. So it's like, what do you expect? Like I'm looking at it right now. Me in week 3, some teams in the division haven't even wrote no type of stories yet.
I
And
am the
wonder why you
only one in
behind.
my division who wrote a story so far this
I'm,
season.
And
I wrote. Hold on, let me
and
finish OG because you're not in the lead right now. I wrote
yeah,
2 of my stories. Of course, ain't nobody write nothing to Rhino, so I'm gonna write my 2. The next 20 minutes later, then he gonna write his 2. I'm not knocking him for that, but I'm just saying my other 2, my cat didn't write nothing.
no,
Vikings.
but
And
my caddy throwing out videos.
no,
He's throwing out
I'm
two.
just saying. I'm just saying. The embarrassing right nothing yet. What I'm just saying is not even talking about some people are just in the league just to play games. Some people in it for different reasons, OG. And I always say that too. Like OG, I get what you be saying. I'm not knocking you. You're passionate, but OG, like I always say, so you know what I'm about to say. I told you many times before. Like we had it talking about it on the phone, not texting. Everybody don't see it your way. So I get what you're saying, but some people just playing AJ just to play Madden. You're
I get
different
you.
about it. Like you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong or no shit like that. Like everything I'm telling you now, I told you before, so you know I'm not talking shit. Like I see the way
Yeah,
you see it, but somebody listen to this podcast, even if don't listen to the podcast, don't see it the way you see it. So like we look at it different. The next
I'm not
user,
saying to see my vision though. I'm just saying
yeah,
if you
no,
want to
yeah, I'm
keep
just saying,
asking
like
for
some people,
certain stuff and ask
I
weekly on
feel
a
you.
weekly basis,
But like I tell you, some people
input.
just want to just load up. Some people want to just load up. Some people just load up and play. Like,
So if you
bro,
loading up and play, don't ask for shit.
it's not wrong with that. I get what you're
I
saying, but
actually
I'm just
agree with
like,
that. I think the level of investment some people have doesn't match what they want out the
like
league.
the people who really, I'm not gonna say crowd. People who really have an opinion, like me, have something to say. They really fuck with AGS. They really like doing shit. So like they do more than others. So sometimes they feel like they have a good point. Like me personally, I'm about to sound like a person I was talking about. I feel right now I'm being that I feel like I do a lot for the Leafs. I feel like my good suggestions of I think when people say this shit that they want to have another chance to get an X Factor done because they got a forced win, I feel like what I'm saying should be approved because that's a good idea. I actually care about the league. I'm not doing the fuck up the league. I'm doing it to make people feel happy.
But
So
you got to think about
like what you said,
everybody else though.
huh?
It's like
Yeah, I get what you're
it's
saying
like
too. I'm not. Yeah, I heard you say it. You're not wrong, but I'm just saying like some users, bro, just play this to load up, bro. Some people don't tweet. Some people don't talk. People don't say shit. They don't write. So they just play. Like they just play their
can't
games. You know, I'm
no
gonna give you a perfect example of somebody who just played their game. And this man, I know him in real life. So Gary, Keith homeboy, G, as you call him, G, the Titans users.
Greg
So
Greg as well. Greg as well.
no, Greg do write stories.
He
He
do?
do. Yeah, he writes stories.
Oh,
Look
I
at
thought.
it. Gary
Okay.
just play. I'm not talking shit about him. I'm not mad. I'm just saying he's a perfect, and that's somebody I know in real life. Like I know
Just
him.
lost the money.
Like he don't write no stories. He don't talk in the chat, which is fine. But I'm saying he'll DM you and play your games. But he just Keith, am I right or wrong?
You're right. Yeah.
Can I ask you guys a question though, real fast?
Go ahead.
Do you consider AGS a hobby or a business
The
in a
league or
sense?
Madden?
I'm talking about AGS, like the league basically. Do
I
you
I mean,
because
love
it's like
Madden's
a
a
that.
game?
That's a
bro.
great question.
It's
Do
a
you
business, bro.
consider it a hobby
You
or
say
a
why it's a
business?
business? Ask me why it's a business. Ask me why.
Yeah, he's
Why
normal as
why
hell. Nigga
No,
just told me
ask me why.
why
I'm gonna tell you why.
ask me why.
Ask me why it's a
why is
business.
it a
Title of the
business,
episode.
Weezy?
Ask me why. Ask me why.
Because you gotta understand. Not you gotta understand. People gotta understand it, bro. We realize planning our life around the game. Like when I get off work, sometimes every day, I have to plan my life around the video game. If not, I'm gonna take a forced loss. And I care about league so much. I don't want to get away with forced loss or fuss with the motherfucker. I said at the time, I'm not ready yet. I have to get off work and like it's a business. Because if I didn't care, I could just whenever, right now, 10 p.m. Let's play. When are you free? When are you free? Tomorrow,
So
today, like that. It's a business.
before you
It's not a
finish,
hobby.
what do you do in businesses? You invest, right?
Yeah,
You
I
invest into your business, right? And your business grows, correct?
I get where you're going. This,
And,
go ahead.
no, it's true. And then you have your core top people at the business. You got CFOs, CEOs, and all that other stuff at the top, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
got I'm not. Let me clarify this. I'm not calling people that's in there workers. They're human beings just like all of us, and they're users just like all of us. But I'm saying if it's input with all 32, right, it will grow. And I don't know if everybody has the same idea, but or if anyone had the same idea of this. But growing, it's good. You get noticed. You get. That's what people like. So if you invest, you give and you get, right or wrong. You invest in your business, you get out of your business. See how
Believe
you
it or not,
invest your
You
time?
know what I
You
miss investing in? I miss the awards channel in the Discord. Every week, like you talk about the graphics. This is such a sidebar. I'm so sorry, but remember we used to give out the graphics for players of the week off of Daddy Leagues or out the game. Like, dude, me and JPack were taking time out of our day, out of the business, like you just said, to highlight the users and tag them in a chat to give them recognition that only Madden did. That's so crazy.
so so you consider this a business or a hobby?
A business.
Screen.
It's both for sure, but I see business first, hobby second.
it's a business. A hobby is just playing an online rank game.
So
This is a business.
I want
Online
everybody
rank game right
who
now is that's a hobby, bro. This is a business, bro.
e-
It's a
e-
we just got some shitty workers. Like point blank.
everyone, but hold up, everyone who tunes in, you can't get no points for this. I'm not allowed to do that. But whoever tunes in, just type in the chat whether you consider AGS a hobby or a business, because it'll be great to see where other users' minds is at. Like if you consider this a hobby, cool. If you don't want to, like, you don't see yourself investing, but if you see this as a business and you wake up and like, oh, this is business. Like, let's invest into this.
Matter of
Let's
fact,
really put our heads together and make it, like, you know what
DM
I'm
me
saying?
a hobby or business, and I got something for you. I'm not telling nobody what it is. Just DM me.
Okay, okay.
I'm how many DMs I got, and I'm gonna tell people. I only care if it's one DM. So if one person listen to this podcast, I'm gonna tell it next time we play the podcast. Like and
Because
then like
Go
it's
ahead.
interesting
Go ahead.
because like we're saying how some people don't do nothing. Some people don't listen to the podcast, don't write a story, or don't um
Hey, if people don't listen to us, their opinion because maybe they don't like one of us on the show. Maybe
No, I
maybe they
just feel like
just
some
you
people
know.
And
just some
again,
people
and
just load
but
up.
just to
Some
make
people
it
just
clear
load up.
too, like
OG.
it's not mandatory to listen to the podcast. Like that
Yeah,
that's
some
what
people
we're
just load
saying
up.
though. This is kind of an investment for people who like to hear our opinions. And all we just saying
This is
is
our
listen here.
investment though.
It's true.
Yeah, for sure.
You're right.
This is our investment. This is our startup. You know what I'm saying? So you
Right.
know how people be like support your other business, support your
Your
homie
small,
business,
your small
support
business.
support our small business because this is our small business. We're not. I'm not saying we're because if we was really trying to like lift off the ground, we can, which I think we should. And you know me, I'm always thinking. I'm thinking always 1,000 steps ahead, and it just is my problem.
Hey, OG,
But however,
can I get
uh,
paid? Because oh, we're gonna talk about the offense.
oh,
Oh, we're talking about. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Huh?
Oh God,
stop
here
it.
we go.
Anyway,
This guy.
yo, come
Ah,
on, 6ix9ine. But yo, anyway, I would like to hear the user's opinion though, because it'll be cool to see where their mind's at to see if they feel like this is a business or not. Because I felt like it was a business to me because I'm so invested into this, or was invested into this. It was like, all right,
yeah,
something got
this
to give. You can't
hard.
keep doing. You can't really keep doing shit for free. That takes 3 hours out your day. Not, I'm gonna say 8 hours because there's a lot of times that you're investing in the chat for a long time,
And when you
just
look at
talking.
and even the 8 hour part of it, when you look at it, you got to think, okay, we record this, then it got to get edited, you know, then it got to get waited to upload. You got to come up with a description. You got to kind of try to catch people's eye by saying
Hey,
what it's about, and then let them hear it. Because some people
people.
don't listen unless they know what the episode about. If we just put this out blank and they be like, ain't no description, why would I watch this? You got to take time to create that. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot that go into trying to promote something as content, and people don't understand that part of it.
Nah, they don't want to know unless they get into it. Like if you don't, they don't know the behind the scenes. They just know the front layer, and that's what everybody always judges the front layer. Like even I remember when it was just me and Weezy, and people were screaming on us. I'm like, yo, you guys do not know the time and effort this has to go in. It has to get cut up. We have to make sure that the wording is correct, the volume, everything is crazy. Even that's commish. Like people don't know what the hell goes on in that commish chat, what gets talked about. And credit to those guys that's in there because a lot of things do get talked about.
Now just
It
three of
may
them. Jay,
well,
Trent.
and that's even more tough. So it may not go in their favor, a user's favor, and they over here like bashing, like, "Hey, you guys not getting done. You guys not doing this." But there's a lot that goes behind it, and it gets
Young.
tiring. Like for example, I'm a big up JPAC because 32 to 64 graphics. Imagine having to do that in a span, right? Wasting not wasting your time, but your time is being dedicated to this. And then after that, the users are crying and moaning like, "Hey, why we?" Not even saying crying. Well, yeah, they are crying. Let's do it this fast. Let's do this. Let's do that. Why we gotta wait this? Because a lot has to get invested into it. You guys don't know. This is why a certain time limit has to get down to people choosing their teams, et cetera, et cetera. It's just a lot of behind the scenes. I bet you for you rule committee guys, right? We have to start getting more invested. It's gonna be even trade committee. People cry to you all the time, but don't know the fussing that goes behind it, behind the scenes. But they want to cry at you why it got denied. Well, we discussed it and it got denied. Why are you crying? Just come up with a better trade. You get what I'm saying? Everybody's so spoiled. They want, but won't give.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody falls victim to that. I fell in victim to wanting and not giving at one point. I remember when I first joined Scream, I was wilding, wanting. And I said, you know what? I need to become a leader. If I want, let me go out there and give this guy something. Pause. So I started recruiting for him. I started recruiting
Yay!
crazy. Started recruiting crazy. I got mad recruits, and he hit me up like, "Yo, I like the work you've been doing. You want to become a commission?" From there, it was a wrap, and I never looked back since then. But that's an example. I was wanting
Shout out
stuff.
my guys, Boogs Papola, B. I'm never letting that go, yo.
Book Paula,
Bro, yo,
that's my guy.
they really had me in New York lit on a February night, bro. Snowy as hell.
Yeah.
Terrible,
That was
man.
crazy. My man had just came from home from jail, and then we took you out and
Hey,
him
yo,
out. We had a good
oh,
ass time.
this an hour.
What's up?
It's an hour.
Oh
We had
well,
50,
yeah.
we had
So
50 minutes, man. We good. It's the
yeah,
comeback
we
episode. They be alright.
we didn't mean to bore you with all this, but I hope some of you users do buy into this message because a league you don't want to never see something just vanish. You know what I'm saying? Especially with all the hard work that was put in for 7 years. just look at this as an investment. It was an investment of your probably your mental, an investment of you not to be in them streets, an investment for you to stick forward and not be outside hanging out with women and being faithful to your woman. It's different investments, you know what I'm saying? That you gain from this type of stuff. So like if you invested that deep, then help out a little bit. It don't hurt to help out. Do a graphic, do a video, um, do a podcast. Fuck it. We like competition. It'll help us get better
And
into what we got to do.
hell yeah, with the graphic question, comment like if you don't know how to do it or need to do some apps, ask OG. I just asked him the other day about an app on the phone that I should have known about because I use it on the computer. But I went and asked him, and he gave me the answer, and I was like, oh, bet I'm about to start doing it too. So don't be afraid to ask us. Like even if y'all come ask me about commentary, what you need, I have no issue. Like you are not stepping on my toes. You are not in my way. I will promote you. So don't.
Can I give you an idea?
Go ahead.
Can I give you an idea, Keith? Every week, if it's possible, when you do a game of the week, you have a different guest on to help you out.
Yeah, that's why I've been trying to get you to do it instead. What you mean? I know.
No. I'm saying like a weekly different guest. Like you know what I'm saying. You can have me, then you can have Jay, then you can have Vel. Like getting people in tune with just that side of the field because nobody don't know if they will like it until they try it.
That's
So
very
and
true.
people.
And I kind of did that with Jay. I think Jay called a playoff game with me because I just asked Jay randomly, "You want to call the game?"
Yeah. Was it the Super Bowl he did with you?
I think it might have been the bowl. Yeah, it might have been the bowl with T. Hoyt and Fitz. Yeah. So yeah,
Oh, you
stuff
can get
like
Weezy
that.
on there.
I agree. Like and I actually was going through my pictures, man. It's funny you mentioned this. Like I remember we created like a AGS podcast at one point before Sunday OJ ever even was like thought about. This was back in Madden 20 or so, and it's deep in the chat, man. It was like a light blue picture. It had me in the hoodie with the sticker, not the one with the shades on though. And they had the AGS logo, and it was just like a round AGS or something like that. And that was like the early where I kind of got the confidence to do the commentary podcast and stuff. And then now, here we are with Sunday OJ. So, if anybody wants to run like my caddy, around AGS, he's on episode 2. So not episode 3 about to come out because we're at the end of week 3. Rhino is playing right now. So
dope.
Again, like OG said, we encourage you guys to, take a step on faith, create content how you see fit, and go from there. We're not holding anybody back from anything. We are not trying to monopolize anything. If you got something you want to create, jump on it. And if you guys think having like a, if you guys think like a weekly talk show middle of the week just to talk about some things going on over the past couple of weeks, that's a dope idea too. It could be like a little spin-off or whatever. I don't know. So yeah.
And if you're in New York, I got a great studio for you, video studio or audio studio. Holla at me, DM me if you're in New York. You need a studio, holla at me. But yeah, on to Weezy being 3-0, Moni being 2-1, Cheeks being Stinky, which is Trent. Vel got the Chargers traded off Hibbert. And some new sweats being in the league.
Yeah, it feel good to get the reboot going. No, I do agree with Weezy from earlier, man. Like the wait was crazy, but at the same time, like it just panned out bad for me because I was on vacation. And even just to give insight on like the team selection process, I took like 2 hours to pick a team, and I picked second. And I didn't think I was gonna pick second, so I didn't think nothing of it. But it's like Weezy said, like the time you put into the league, all those stories, all that streaming. I'm like level 31 in the chat or something like that. So like all that went into me picking high as hell. I did not know what I was gonna do, and then I didn't read the announcement message about the free X Factor and Superstar to come back. So I'm just like, all right, I'm picking Josh Allen. I'm not going through this building quarterback stuff again. And then I could have built Trey Lance and had the 49ers, but it was too late.
I know you hate this word. Keith, I gotta say it. Can I please say it too?
Go ahead.
What word?
Why you keep lying to us, bro?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I really do not know.
You gonna tell you? You gonna laugh. It's not personal. You gonna laugh. Why you keep lying to us? Every time you say you gonna get the Falcons, you don't get the Falcons. Why didn't you get the Falcons with the second pick, bro? I'm telling everybody, bro.
Building a quarterback. No.
I was like, Jay the Falcons. Keep getting the Falcons.
No,
the Bills.
Jay, if I picked the lower, I definitely would have picked the Falcons. But I'm at 2. And you saw what I had to go through with Mac Jones. I'm not doing that again. I thought it was like cool to try to build a quarterback, but it stops you from building other positions. Like, it was just tough to try to like throw at a receiver to build when I can't throw the ball. So I said, all right, now that I have a quarterback who can throw and I don't have to build the quarterback, I can build a receiver. I can build a running back. I can go build a defensive player. I can put more effort into something other than quarterback. That was my honest thought this time. I looked at the Bills, the Cowboys, the Niners, and the Eagles. Shout out to Trey for that because he sent me the rosters, and that kind of helped me make my decision. I was out in Miami, didn't have an Xbox. So I said, you know what? Josh Allen, 99 throw power, all 90 accuracies. I'm good. Keep it moving. Where if I pick Trey Lance, I have a great defense. I have a lot of weapons on offense, 90 throw power, but I have to build his accuracy. I just didn't want to invest in a quarterback again. That's all it was.
Bills is best suited for you anyway.
That's true though.
But
Like I told you, going from Rodgers to the Rodgers or Mac Jones to Josh Allen, you don't have to build no
we
quarterback.
we
It's different.
we got about 5 to 10 minutes, right? So I want to ask you guys a question. We was texting about this earlier. This is real life stuff right now. And will get to AJS once the week kicks in. So Ravens versus Bengals. Uh, you guys had a different opinion than I did. Well, actually, Scream did. Weezy didn't really input on this. He probably could input a little bit input now. I feel that J.K. Dobbins was wrong in saying if we had Lamar, we would have won. Yes, it's a cool opinion. Um, yes, it's that's his star quarterback. He's having his back. But to me, to me, Tyler Huntley, he went in there, he played, he balled a little bit. He threw an interception. He had a crucial fumble 7, very crucial, very crucial. Which actually cost him the game. They would have scored. They
Apparently they
probably would have
call
won.
those thick sixes. I never knew that was a thing until Bleacher Report said it.
What they call it?
A thick six.
Okay, brick 6.
What the? Hey,
but
you're wild. You're wild.
but yeah. So I didn't agree with it, but you guys said you did. You didn't mind him saying that. Speak a little about, even though, listen, Tyler Huntley to me balled out. That one little try to Superman like he was what's Sunshine name from Jaguars?
Oh, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah.
Yeah, like he was Trevor Lawrence. But he was like 2 yards out trying to quarterback sneak that. That was odd. But yeah, it was.
You know, I I agree with you that you have to give Tyler Huntley credit for stepping up in a place where people didn't think he could shine. Because, again, he was making the right throws. He was making the right reads. He even threw a long bomb touchdown, and I was talking about how bad it was for him to do that. Like, he can't throw, and the next thing you know, I'm actually talking to Kyle, and Kyle was like, damn, Keith, you just said it, and then dude threw a bomb touchdown. So I ate my words right in and there. I give credit to him throwing the ball. I give credit to him running that offense outside of the red zone. But I do somewhat agree with J.K. Dobbins. I think when you're not, and this is probably him coming more for the coaches than it is the quarterback. If you don't practice that, then yeah, like the guy who does it will get it done. And I think that's where his emotions took him. And that's why he also made the comment to say, why not give me the ball? I'm the proven guy. I do this for a living. I'm a running back. And, the way the play broke down, he was stood up, I think, by Jermaine Pratt. Logan Wilson saw the ball was free when he got stuck because he dove from the 2 yard. Like you said, he dove from the 2. And because the ball was not across the plane and because he got stuffed and held up by a linebacker, Logan Wilson, the other Bengals linebacker, saw the ball, punched it out. It just so happened to fall into Sam Hubbard's hands, and Sam Hubbard goes 98 yards. It's a lot of what ifs, and I look back to the Seahawks Patriots Super Bowl. What if Marshawn runs it from the 2 yard line? Do we talk about Brady still having a 6-ring legacy and how Russell went back to back in the bowl versus Brady and Manning? You know what I'm saying? So it's.
But yeah, I listen. Everything is cool. He could disagree with the play call, but he cannot be like, "Yo, if Lamar was here, we would won." That's a cool opinion. But Lamar was even on the sideline for you to even utter that. Like, give Tyler Huntley his credit. He could have been like, "Yo, Tyler Huntley balled. It was an unfortunate fumble. It went for 7, and and we lost the game. I think insinuating like, yo, if we had Lamar, like that puts a lot of people's confidence down. Like, wow, we was in the game without Lamar. You get what I'm going. I think in that aspect of team game, like Lamar rightfully so wants his money guaranteed, and I agree because the injury is on his legs. Like I was telling you guys earlier, and that's his moneymaker, his legs, and that's no disrespect to him, but that's his moneymaker. So if his legs get messed up, his breadwinner is gone. So I agree with what he's doing, taking his time out,
Yeah,
not playing. I think he should have been on the sidelines though, but I
it's
still
like
don't agree
both
with
y'all.
Dobbins doing that.
I agree with
Go
both
ahead,
of
go ahead,
y'all.
Weezy.
Like OG say, well, not OG, my mama, my man, my hiring manager, everybody say, my old manager, it's a time and place for everything. He should have said what you said, OG, about blah blah blah. But in the locker room with his personal teammates, he should have said,
Mm-hmm.
"Bitch, we would have won with
Yeah,
Lamar."
yeah, exactly,
Versus
exactly.
saying it on live TV or with the reporter. So it's a time place for everything. I get what you're saying. Like he should have said that shit when there's no meeting in the locker room and said that shit. I hear what you're saying. It's kind of like him saying it is like us on the game. It's probably comparing apples to oranges, but like if you play with a backup quarterback, I would have won it if I wouldn't have had him a back quarterback. So I get both sides. Like I get both sides of OG and what Keith was saying. That's why earlier I was letting y'all just debate about it because both y'all make sense. It really do.
I
He
think I
should have
think
he should have said what he
it,
said point blank period on the phone with his homeboys or in the locker room in the offseason with his niggas. And then when it comes to the media and them running shit down to the ground, he should have said, no,
it, if they got blown out, I could
right.
understand why he'd be like, yo, if we had Lamar, we could have won. I understand that, but it wasn't a blowout. It was a close ass game that they could have won. It was just an unfortunate event that Tyler Huntley tried to Superman dive when he could have just followed his lead blocker, got got it, and got another down to either go for it or kick the field goal because it was third down, I believe.
I mean,
So
he was kind of ball, bro. I mean, I really get it, bro. I get what you're saying. I just get nobody's wrong, nobody's right. Like,
like he didn't blow a 27-3 lead like Herbert did, right? So I mean,
27-0.
oh,
27 to
27-0.
0.
Sorry, 27-0 lead to Sunshine and Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying?
look,
So it's like
let me ask y'all this question, since I know both y'all really watch football and not just a stat person go on Google and bullshit. So if the 49ers win one more game or they lose this game, do y'all think Trey Lance is the backup or they both should have a battle and let the media hype it up? Because I know Jimmy G going to talk about
it,
him.
it, if they
What's
lose, I think they go all in on Tom Brady to get him this
what?
1 year while that defense. I'm
Oh,
telling you the truth.
you
They're gonna
sound.
go.
Oh yeah, I
No,
said that.
no, no, no.
What?
You gotta hear me. You
They
know
don't
why?
have
Because
no
if
money. The
they don't got no
49ers?
money, yeah,
OG, I'm gonna let you sit back and think about that dumb.
they'll make money pop out the ass. You know
This
that.
motherfucker just
So
said
what
that.
I'm saying is they'll go all in on Tom Brady just to get that one ring, right?
Go
Because
ahead.
obviously will be a game away. Like Brock is not Tom Brady, and you know what I'm
Go
saying.
ahead.
Neither is nobody in that roster is. So if you have a chance between Tom Brady, Lance, and Brock, who you picking?
Okay, OG. Go ahead, Keith. This motherfucker just turned it
And
twisted.
it's funny because we talked about it in the chat, and I know you were kind of trolling about it, and I just joined on the troll wave, and we pissed Vel off just a little bit. And then I actually seen one of my homeboys tweet the same question on Twitter. He was like, "It's people out there that think Brock Purdy is better than Trey Lance." Um,
Go
I
ahead.
do not think that Brock is better than Trey Lance. However, Weezy did
No.
make a great point. You now have bait for other teams because teams that need quarterbacks and kind of want to be cheap about it, Trey Lance is now an option potentially. And then Chicago has the first pick, and you are going to bat for Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud to be one of the first quarterbacks taken in the NFL draft. And the GMs in the NFL are now talking about Justin Fields being available for trade.
Mm.
So for me, if I was John Lynch on the 49ers, I have to explore the option of trading Trey Lance, whether I think he's better or not. Because if there's a deal that comes over that makes my team better, and I got a 5-0 regular season out of Brock Purdy and a playoff win, and I already am going to do right by Jimmy G, then maybe I keep Brock Purdy because the contract is cheap and he fits my system as a quarterback who can run, who can make the right pass, and my playmakers do the rest. It does
You
not
missed
mean
one.
he's
You
better.
missed one thing. You
Go
missed
ahead.
one thing. He won that locker room. I think he won that locker room.
And that's why I'm saying, and that's why I said John Lynch as the GM has to think now. If I put Trey Lance back out here, does Trey have the locker room? Has Trey been here with a broken ankle? Do I do that? Do I disrupt my chemistry and timing of passes with a faster passer and a stronger arm? There's a lot that goes into being a GM. We're obviously not GMs, but that's kind of where I'm at.
Let me ask you something, because OG, I don't think you really be around when we debate this. So I'm happy you brought up Brock Purdue. Well, we both did.
Brock who?
So you know how we always go debate back and forth about wide receivers being picked high and low. So Brock Purdue, whatever, if Brock could be picked last pick 7th round, how come a wide receiver can't be picked first? If the same thing we're talking about, which is reverse roles. Now we got the last pick of the draft going to the divisional, winning 12 games in a row total. I know he only won 6 or 5 or whatever, but they on the hot streak. They still winning. They beat the Seahawks, won the division. If Brock can do that as the last pick, how come I keep talking about once a week? How come Marvin Harrison Jr. can't be picked first? If a quarterback who got picked last in the draft, Mr. Development, is doing the same thing as y'all would say, you can pick Marvin Harrison Jr. up at round pick 13.
It's not
What's
that
the difference?
he can't be picked first, and I'm gonna use 2 past drafts exactly, to address why your point does stand the test of time. Make it 3 drafts, excuse me. Keyshawn Johnson went first overall to the New York Jets. I believe that was 99.
Yeah, the only wide receiver.
The only wide receiver to ever go number 1 overall, I believe. And then a couple drafts after that, I believe it was 2003. Charles Rogers was drafted 2nd overall by the Lions.
Charles Rogers.
And then God rest his soul. He passed away a couple years ago. 38 years old, very young, crazy.
Charles Rogers.
Yeah.
Oh damn! Rest in peace. Damn.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, right?
And then the Lions drafted Megatron. Calvin Johnson just went in the Hall of Fame this past year. 2nd overall in 2007. So it's not that they can't go 1 or 2. It just depends on the talent in the same draft as them. So like the 2007 year, Miami went with Jake Long, I believe, was the offensive tackle out of Michigan. And then Calvin Johnson went 2nd. You could have argued Miami needed receivers as bad as they did offensive linemen, because Jake Long didn't really pan out that well. So they could have took Calvin Johnson. Did they? No. It's not that MHJ can't go first. You just don't know what next year's draft is capable of right at this second, and what the needs are going to be of those teams. And you kind of got to play the history game, because, okay, he is a dominant receiver in college. He definitely is going to be a number 1. He's going to be just like Justin Jefferson. He's going to change the franchise. I agree.
Like his dad, like even like Marvin.
I completely agree. But then you have to think, okay, you hate Will Levi or Levis, whatever his name. I don't know his name.
Oh my God!
Him because you think he's gonna be just like Zach Wilson, and I haven't
exactly what
tape yet. I haven't gotten to my draft mode to know. But the same reason that these scouts think quarterback is the best position is exactly why wide receiver isn't.
Can I ask you a question though? Is it about the first round money? Like, first round, first pick, how much money they get? Would they rather invest that into a quarterback or O-line instead of a wide receiver?
That doesn't matter about position anymore. Because the way the rookie draft scale happened, I think
because
after the Jamarcus Russell year or after the Cam Newton.
No, it was Sam
year.
Bradford. It was Sam Bradford.
Yeah, after the Sam Bradford situation where he went 1 overall. And he got paid a lot compared to like what the tackles and the receivers and running backs and stuff and defensive ends were getting. They created the rookie scale, so you get paid based on where you're picked in the first round.
Where you picked,
and all of those contracts come with a mandatory 5th year option in it that a team has to decide by the player's 4th year in the league. So when you see
that's what I'm saying.
.com stuff, that doesn't matter anymore.
What's the difference between what's the difference between the first overall and let's per se like a 8th, 9th, where they'll pick a wide receiver? Really, how much millions is it differently?
A couple of more 100,000. It breaks it down. It will show you if you're going spot. It show you between the first pick and the 8th pick. You will see.
Because I would think that they will feel like, in my opinion, like, hey, if I pick this wide receiver, is he worth all this money? Blah blah.
It's just a couple million though. It's a sliding scale now, and they actually like usually report it, and they usually put it out for the masses to read and stuff like that. It's just a rookie scale. So like first overall pick is the highest contract overall and probably like the biggest signing bonus. But
overall first round pick. It's just a little couple of difference.
Yeah, it's
But
not.
it doesn't
It's
matter.
not crazy.
But it's just crazy. Not crazy. I was just trying to say that like they always go on the wide receivers not being picked first, but we have the weakest player, Mr. Relevant, leading the 49ers in year one. Nobody even talked about him at all because he's Mr. Relevant. Doing the same thing as they were saying.
Oh,
Cooper
I got a
Cup
nice
got drafted
question.
late. You said what, Keith?
I said I got a nice. Go ahead. 'Cause I got a nice question
Oh,
after that.
Cooper Cup got drafted late or blah, 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 blah. So, but it's like, I think it depends on the situation. I just feel like people just don't give wide receiver chances or running back chances because the media keep dick riding them. Like, there's just no respect when it comes to wide receivers. Then you got this motherfucker named Will, whatever, Levi, Levis, whatever, doing the same thing they doing to Zach Wilson. CJ Stroud would be just like Deshaun
Because
Watson. See, let me finish. CJ Stroud getting disrespected. He played the best competition. Now he's the best third quarterback. He dropped for some reason.
Ohio State quarterbacks don't do good.
Let me finish. He's dropping like Deshaun Watson did. And they're hyping up a Zach Wilson, a Levi's, a Mitch Trubisky. What they're doing for him, making him the next best quarterback behind Bryce Young. He's not good like he did. Nobody has seen what.
Yeah, you haven't seen it, but sometimes it's the same thing. And I'm only gonna play devil's advocate to keep us going because we already at that time, right? But let's do this too, right? Daniel Jones was talked about the exact same way you're talking about, and he's got his vindication this year because he has the right coach behind him. He had Joe Judge, who had no coaching experience, did not make sense for him. He had Jason Garrett as an offensive coordinator. We know Jason Garrett's not the greatest. Then you had Ben McAdoo right after Eli retired and McAdoo got fired. Daniel Jones' first full year starting, and now we're at Brian Daboll. And people don't remember this, and they don't talk about it enough. Brian Daboll used to be the Bills' offensive coordinator. Who's the quarterback of the Bills? Josh Allen. So you went from teaching Josh Allen how to be accurate in the NFL with a strong arm to teaching Daniel Jones how to tap the best of his ability, which is running and becoming that read option quarterback. Use your arm if necessary, but use your legs if you need it to more. That's why Daniel Jones is succeeding now, coaching. And to bring up the rookie scale, OG, because you asked about this, Trayvon Walker's total 4-year contract is $37.3 million. Drake London, the 8th pick on the Falcons, his total 4-year deal is $21.5 million. So $16 million separates pick 1 and pick 8. And if you want to go pick 1 to pick 32, pick 1 is $37.3 million for the 4-year total. Pick 32 is $11.4 million. So the rookie scale goes based on where you're drafted, and then it goes down from there instead of the team picking what number they want to give the player.
Hey, you think CJ Stroud should be drafted over Bryce Young though? Weezy?
You wasn't listening. I said over Will. What's the last name?
I'm asking you. I'm just asking for those two. I'm comparing.
Well, you don't like
Ohio
State quarterbacks. I get that, but OG, I get what you're saying. Ohio State quarterbacks stink. I get that, but hear me out, bro. So Ohio State, true or false? They pay the best teams every year, right, Keith? Right, OG?
They paid the Alabama. You ain't answering the question. It's literally just which quarterback is number one to you. Regardless of all that, which quarterback is number one to you? Is it Bryce or is it CJ? This don't got nothing to do with that Kentucky kid. Who is he?
Yeah, no Kentucky kid. Yeah, I'm just asking Bryce Young or CJ.
If you were the Chicago Bears and you traded Justin Fields, are you picking Bryce or are you picking CJ?
I'll take CJ Stroud.
You're gonna go from one Ohio State to another? Nah, I'll take my chances with Bryce Young.
Okay, so that's okay. So listen, that's fine. So them two, that's cool. Either one, depending on pick your poison. But when and how come each year it's I'm not gonna say unknown because he's in college. It's a quarterback who wins and losses don't equal theirs, whose stats don't equal theirs, who TV.
The thing is that we don't. But I'm saying in order to tell, hold on. In order to tell a player, you have to watch them too, though. Like you get a different knowledge of watching an actual player play. Like,
let me finish. Okay, OG. I love football, like I always tell y'all, way more than basketball. Like, if a motherfucker said, pick one for your life, watch college football, NFL, or watch college basketball and NBA. I'm gonna pick football. Only thing I like over basketball, football is what's the shit? The All-Star draft. I mean, the NBA All-Star game. That's elite. They get me real hard. But other than that, like the NFL, what's the shit called? NFL Pro Bowl. The shit is ass. But anyway, I'm getting to my point. You listening, Keith?
I am.
Okay, so every year you have two quarterbacks going back and forth about who's the best, who's the best, who's the best, who's the best. Every year. As soon as the NFL championship is over, for some reason, even if it's Ohio State, Alabama, Clemson, whatever, Deshaun Watson, whoever we can think of that's been nice, Ohio State quarterbacks, whoever we can think of that's been good. It's always that one little unknown quarterback that's white and right.
Sometimes they pan out.
Let
Jared
me
Goff,
let me finish.
Carson Wentz before the injury.
Finish. Who comes out of nowhere. No, they were talking about them two all year, by the way. So give me somebody else. They were talking about them two all year. So anyway.
No, but they coming from those small colleges.
Nobody talked about Will Levi. Nobody talked about Zach Wilson from BYU to win. The end of the season and the quarterbacks before them, Justin Fields get disrespected. Like always. This shit is like a revolving door.
His money's on his legs though. His money's not on his arm.
What?
His money's
Justin
on his
Fields
legs.
had
Like
the
he's a runner.
second-best rushing quarterback season ever. He would have passed Lamar had he played week 18, but
he played, yeah.
We're talking about in college. I'm talking about in college. I'm not talking about right now. I'm talking about in college.
But scouts are paid to see what the regular eye don't see though. So if they sometimes it pans out like Scream said, like Danny Dimes. He's doing way better now that he got a coach
So
under
what about
him.
Mr. Trubisky? How come he got picked over Deshaun Watson for the millionth time? And remember, he played for North Carolina Tar Heels. Nobody saw them.
No, you're not wrong. I'm just saying
he won against Alabama with Deshaun Watson. I'm saying, bro, what he got to do?
We get you. Nobody is mad at you. We get you.
I think he's doing the race card though.
And use the elite quarterback that you love so much in Patty Mahomes. That's the same draft.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So
the same draft.
Mitch got picked before Patrick, Lamar, and Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
All this it's the same draft. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about Deshaun. Like, cause and you look at that draft class, like Deshaun's the third best quarterback. It is what it is now. Like,
it's only unfair to say because he had them 2 years old. He was balling in Texans.
He sat because of his fault. And
no, but I'm saying he was balling though with no wide receivers. He was doing his goddamn thing over there.
He had D-Hop. D-Hop, him and D-Hop was great. He made dudes that want D-Hop look good though. I get your sentiment. I'm with you.
Like Deshaun Watson's not trash and not at all. I give him his credit. Like he's very, very good. And I think next season with the Browns, when they get that chemistry, it's gonna be a problem.
In the last game they went crazy against the Washington Commanders. But let's get back to the point of when quarterbacks like Zach Wilson, who lost his job again, who losing his job, and like this new dude will leave. Like when did they come out the blue? When nobody talk about them for let me finish a Heisman, the best quarterback award. Like when did they come out of anywhere? Like when did they come? Like okay, now the season over. Fuck, we bored. We're bored. We're gonna find somebody.
That's the funniest thing about it.
That's what happened.
And you know, to your credit with the BYU,
they wasn't playing hard.
People from BYU are considered arrogant, and I hate to go to the NBA with this one, but look at Jimmer Fredette. Jimmer got picked top 10 by the Kings. Probably stopped trying to get better. Knew he was a good shooter and thought shooting was going to be the answer in the NBA. And then now he's out the league already. You know what I'm saying? So Zach Wilson being arrogant, like, oh, I don't care. And then the meme about him being, and then the meme about him being the motherfucker. So it's like, all right, cool.
Oh,
like,
yep.
He has a persona like Johnny Manziel already. And he ain't even
his
retired yet.
His uncle owned JetBlue or some shit like that. Right?
Exactly. So he's spoiled. He's entitled. He's very arrogant. And he think that means people gonna like me regardless. And then he realized, nah, we don't fuck with you. So
you know what happened too? Maybe he's a kid that was spoiled coming to a grown ass man's game, and he had to transfer to that. And he can't right now.
Nobody taught him how to get that transfer.
Exactly.
So
which comes into coach.
He may still be great. It's only been 2 years. I'm not gonna knock him just yet, Weezy, like you are. I'm not gonna knock him yet. But I agree with you that he was very overhyped. And he's only 23 years old, man. He got time, luckily. So hopefully he fixes himself somewhere. I don't know.
As a quarterback, he don't got too much time. Well, let me stop saying that because Geno Smith just got a gig and he's 33. Yeah.
You never know.
I mean that's true. But how come Justin Fields got to get traded now? Like how come where his time?
Because there's a better quarterback. and is a better quarterback.
So this is what happened with the Arizona Cardinals too, and it did set them back a little bit. Y'all know I don't fuck with Kyler at all. So.
Oh, the Rosen.
So they drafted
You
Josh
hate Kyler.
Rosen 10th overall. Then and they fired the
That's
coach.
good.
And the very next year, they draft Kyler
Exactly.
Murray #1 with a new head coach.
Yep.
The head coach is now fired, and Kyler won 4 games before tearing the ACL. So you drafted a guy to be in the same spot you would have been in with Josh Rosen. Why not let Josh Rosen develop another team take Kyler?
Wait, you think Kyler stinks?
I don't think he's as good as advertised. Just like I was on the Baker Mayfield train. Baker Mayfield had fit for the Browns at first, but now I'm off the Baker train because Baker doesn't want to be better. No offense to him being the Rams quarterback if Matt Stafford is done, which is being rumored. But, you know, Baker was the guy. He had the swagger, the confidence. Then he lost the locker room. And then he got traded to Panthers. And then he got cut on the Panthers. So Kyler's going through that same kind of phase to me. It's like you don't want to get better. And we talked about this before. Why would they give you a clause in your contract about Call of Duty if you were claiming to be better like you said you are? Why would that ever be in your contract? You don't care that much about football. That's all it is to me.
I want to ask Weezy a question though. If you had a talent like Bryce Young, because I believe he got hurt and I believe he's good, and you got Justin Fields, you not trading Justin Fields to get that talent in Bryce Young?
No. Why would I do that? Like you said, I need other pieces. So hear me out. So if everybody keeps saying the Bears need other pieces besides Justin Fields, why would I?
You start with a quarterback though.
But I already have a quarterback. I have Justin Fields.
Okay, no disrespect, but you start with a real quarterback.
Here's the part OG's leaving out. There's new management in the Bears front office. Justin Fields is not their guy. Not yet, at least. They didn't pick Fields. So if somebody that they pick comes along and is better than Fields, you get more credit for the guy you picked, not the guy you didn't pick.
True. Which happened in the Kyler situation, like you just explained.
I mean, that's one out of how many times that happened? When the last time that happened, though? I get what you're saying.
The Jets just did it. The Jets regime, Joe Douglas, I think, got fired, and they hired somebody new. And then Robert Saleh came with it. Or Joe Douglas is not who picked Sam Darnold, I don't think. And Joe Douglas is there now.
Yeah,
so
and
Joe Douglas came from the Eagles. He's not the person that picked Sam Darnold, which is why he got rid of Sam Darnold and said, okay, Zach's
what about
my
Zach
guy.
Wilson?
But
who
now
Zach
is not his guy, so he's going to move on again. Who tried. He tried, but, what can you do?
Me personally, if I'm the Bears, I get what y'all saying. I can trade down, but I'm not going to let go of – I'm not just going to get the first – like, I can trade down what y'all saying and get some more picks, but I'm not going to just – with the first pick, I'm not picking C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young or Will Levi, whoever you call him. I'm not picking a quarterback with my first pick. Not with the Bears, like what y'all saying. The Bears
the Bears is funny. When they picked Trubisky, they traded up to get Trubisky from 3 with the 49ers, who didn't need a quarterback.
I know.
That's the funniest thing about that draft. The Niners had the second pick, just to give some people some history lessons real quick, and then we can, get to the end. The Niners had pick 2. They needed a defensive end, but teams were trying to trade up to get Mitch Trubisky. The Bears trade up 1 spot to get Trubisky. They gave up like an extra first and some other stuff. And then the Niners went down 1 pick and got Solomon Thomas, who didn't pan out, but they got an extra first-round pick out of it. From just
who was pick 1 and 2?
Pick 1
who was pick 1
was Myles Garrett.
Who was pick 2?
Draft. And
who was
pick 2 was Mitch Trubisky. That was
so
Myles Garrett, Mitch Trubisky, Solomon Thomas to the Niners. That might have been the Jalen Ramsey one. No, I don't think that was the Ramsey draft.
Hell
that was
no.
the year before.
Hell no.
So and that was like Patrick Mahomes went at 10 because the Bills traded down with the Chiefs to get that pick.
So a man won the NCAA football championship over Alabama and they let North Carolina Tar Heels person be picked 2.
Yeah, I mean Bama is great at everything at quarterback too, though. No, but Bama's not that good at quarterback either, though. When you think about it, too.
No. I meant Deshaun Watson. I mean, like he beat Alabama in the championship.
Clemson. But at that time, people didn't think Clemson quarterbacks were good because of Taj Boyd. So it's not really Watson's fault. But Taj Boyd didn't pan out in the NFL before him. So okay, is Clemson a quarterback school? Do I look at just the talent? It's the same way with USC and Ohio State quarterbacks, like OG was saying. When the school doesn't have a good track record of putting the specific position in the league, why would you do it?
Well,
Braxton
what the
Miller was
last?
a quarterback, and he transferred to wide receiver for Cardale Jones, and then Cardale Jones didn't pan out. God rest his soul for Dwayne Haskins, didn't even get a chance to pan out in Washington due to racist ownership, and then he lost his life last year. So it's just one
What?
of those things, man, where people look at the college in the position sometimes. They do it. Like me, I don't like USC quarterbacks. Like Carson Palmer is the only guy who ever got it done.
I was
And
about to say Carson
everybody's
Palmer,
Mm-hmm.
Matt
everybody's big
Leinart.
on Caleb Williams next year. So, it just depends on the position and the place you at.
See,
I don't
see,
know
OG,
about
you
him.
see what I'm talking about?
You see?
Well, what else
Yeah,
more
you
he got to
see?
do? What else
See?
more does he got to do? That's what I'm saying. Like he get a but Will Levi's get a. He's that guy.
I didn't say Will Levi get that guy. Like I like Bryce Young. I really like Bryce Young. I think
Matter of
he's gonna
fact,
pan out to be something
OG,
good.
because I know you watch football. How many games have you seen Will Levi play?
Zero. I didn't, but I'm not saying nothing about Will Levi though.
So listen, you haven't seen him play, but they got him going top two. So
But
what they saying?
you haven't seen him play either. So we can't agree to disagree about anything they put on number two because we don't
That's my
know how he
point.
play.
That's my point.
But the scouts do though because the scouts actually seen him. The scouts is actually watching that man play while we don't. It's a difference.
Ooh.
Like
So
the
they watch.
scouts.
If they watch him play, can I ask you a question? How come he not nominated for best quarterback or Heisman? Then?
Because sometimes scouts go for on field presence, like how they see how they rock with the team. They see how he throws the ball and how tightness he get, how educated they
Okay.
think that he can learn a playbook. Like they don't
Uh,
just pick 'em- They don't just pick people off of just skills.
so
At least in my opinion.
how come he don't get talked? How come he didn't get talked about till after the season? Not once did the motherfucker say like, okay, let me. So you know how like every year, like right now in January they have like the pre top 10 draft picks to be picked for next year. How come like he's not nowhere in the top?
Maybe they just got him as an industry plant, like people be calling some rappers. Like they just put him in there just
Like
we need this
nobody
guy in
talking about him
here.
at all. Like you know how that was going like next year draft. Like next year, like Hakeem said, they got Caleb Williams going and Shador and Marvin Harrison, people like that. They already have them going in top 10. You got this motherfucker who came
Because
from
you
nowhere.
got people who have great seasons, great one seasons that'll lift their draft stock up. I'm just saying because these scouts actually go to get on planes and watch these games of different
Uh-huh.
players and write down notes. So I can never go against a scout saying, hey, this guy's number two. I'm gonna be like, hey, I never seen him play. Maybe you guys seen something in that. Just for me, just me talking how I rate my players. I look from on the field standpoint, like, which is why like players like Pat
I mean,
Mahomes separate themselves from everybody else, and even
so
Josh
Keith,
Allen. You may not like
Keith,
Josh Allen, but
so
Josh
OG,
Allen
I'm
is
in it with
elite.
this and Keith, and I promise you, I'm done beating on this dead horse. But if a motherfucker is a top two pick who only 19 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, White is right, and I'm done.
No,
Who only
I don't.
2,000 passing yards?
The funniest
He's probably
thing,
not going number two though. He's
and I'm
probably
trying to
definitely not
remember it
going
too.
number two
Y'all
though.
just was talking about it. But the
OG,
funniest thing is that when you look at the stats of stuff like that, it,
19
it
touchdowns.
just it
Come on,
just blows your
bro.
mind
Come
because the stats definitely never stand out. But when you look at like the draft status and stuff, I think you was mentioning like
on. Uh-huh.
Shador and
Mm-hmm.
the Caleb Williams thing. You know, it's funny when we look back at that 2012 draft of Andrew Luck and RG3 because
Mm-hmm.
like you swore they were the next two. And then they
Yeah,
both
yeah,
got
yeah,
in the
yeah.
league within 10 years. And Kirk Cousins is the only quarterback from that draft still.
He
Ironically.
got
So
And
drafted
it's
second round.
yeah,
he's good to
it's
me, but
crazy. Like it's just crazy how like you can have all the tools and utensils possible as a quarterback or even the NFL player in general, but it all can be taken away with just one thing. Andrew Luck retired due to concussions and neck injuries. RG3 had to retire due to knee issues. And God bless
Mm-hmm.
RG3 for getting a second career in the broadcast world. That guy's hilarious,
yeah, yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. He
So
OD funny.
it's a very big blessing to play the game of football the way some of them have because you always have a job after the fact in the broadcast world.
Can,
So
can
if for anybody who's young and listens, or even the guys in the league like who have a second career because of something, like just be grateful, man. That's the message I want to
you
get
know
in
what's
the
crazy?
episode is gratefulness.
Quarterbacks, and y'all could agree to disagree. They have to have a certain swag on the field to get that locker room. And I believe if you don't get the locker room off jump as a quarterback, I think you lose as a quarterback. Period.
Yeah, it's
Like
true. Like
like
Zach
Jared
Wilson.
Goff, right?
Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I don't want to. He's a kid still, but I'm talking like, let's say for
He's
Jared
23.
Goff and
He's
them
not a kid,
Lions.
man. He's 23. He counts, man.
What do you call? What do you call that? He's a kid. He's a child in a grown man league. Like,
He's a
come on,
grown man,
he's a
bro.
23-year-old man. But yeah,
he's surrounded by grown men, like
the other
probably
thing I want
bullying
to
him
say
in the
So,
about
locker
it,
room.
the other point, like you were mentioning with the players and the comparison, I just remembered my real thought. The Justin Jefferson, Jalen Rieger thing is funny because the Eagles were
Jalen
right
Rigger's
there to
fucking
pick
trash.
him, and they picked Rieger, and then JJ is like the best receiver smoking, and it just goes to show again, like one pick can change the trajectory of everything. If you imagine the Eagles
Rager's
have
hot
Justin
ass.
Jefferson instead of Jalen Rieger, they
Smith?
don't get Devontae Smith, and that might change things. Minnesota isn't going crazy like they did with Randy Moss, so it's just so cool to see the what ifs sometimes, man. That's all.
And
well,
to
all I
Weezy's
know,
point, sometimes you want that quarterback to fall back into a team that he's actually going to learn and pan out. And you don't want to get a good quarterback to get drafted to the Bears and then his career's all fucked up or whatever the next team
so
is.
today
Like,
is January 16th or Monday. So in next year or this year, whenever, well,
shout out to
this year
Martin
when he
Luther
gets,
King.
when shout out. Motherfucker said shout
Got
out.
shot, you know, got shot to Martin Luther King Day,
like
man.
he,
Like
like he's
you over
still
here just
alive. Hey,
go past it.
hey,
Happy
rest in
birthday.
peace to MLK.
Yeah, come on,
Sometimes,
you play it too
sometimes
much,
I
man.
wish he wouldn't have made. I wish he wouldn't have made that speech.
Why? Oh well, we getting that to another time. We get that another time.
You gonna tell you why for real? Because a lot of older
Mhm.
people, not me, because I wasn't born. A lot of old people say he should have kept it the way it was because life was actually great. We had our own everything. I mean, hey, I wasn't born then, but a lot of old people who still alive in their right mind, who not talking crazy, say like they was good what they have. Like we had our own everything, and then once we combined it, you see how the world went. But hey,
Well, do you guys have any dreams of any sort so that we could close this up and wrap it up? What
you
is
can
your
have a
dream?
dream, but we don't have to. Whatever. But all I gotta say is this: it's 24 touchdowns and 13 interceptions the year before get you a top pick. Then next year you have less touchdowns and less interceptions. I mean, less touchdowns and 10 interceptions. If that gets you a top 3 pick at the quarterback, I'm gonna need for all the quarterbacks who play at better colleges to start having these type of stats. So if they playing at better colleges with way more competition on defense, if you at Kentucky playing shitty teams and he get a top 3 pick.
Well, Kentucky's in the SEC, so they're not playing like shitty teams. They're still playing good competition when you think about it. It's the
No
SEC.
bowls. No bowls
The
under
SEC is the
500.
SEC though, man. That's being a
What's
Power 5
TCU
stands
in?
for something.
You said what?
What
OG?
league? TCU? What's TCU's
TCU is Big
division?
12. So the
Oh
Power
man,
5 is the
they got
SEC,
trampled.
ACC, Big 12, Big 10, Pac 12.
Hey, them boys is different. No homo. Them boys is different. Big on Georgia versus TCU.
Yeah, SEC.
They were playing men. They were playing. The kids were playing
You
men.
gotta realize this was like the first time in a while that there were 4 teams from 4 different conferences in the final, the CFP 4. Like you had the Big 12, Big 10, SEC, and well, no, you only had 3. My bad, because Big 10 was in there twice because Ohio State. My bad, I was actually wrong. That makes it even crazier. Like, when's the last time you have 4 different teams from 4 different conferences?
Just remember 2,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 10 sessions, get you a top 3 pick in college. Remember that, y'all.
Dude said that.
Remember that.
No.
Remember that. I'm not saying you said that. I'm not saying Keith, you made that rule, but remember that. That's all you need. That's all you need. To be considered a top 3 quarterback over winning championships and winning bowls. Not even go to a bowl and win no
I think
championships.
it's more that goes into it, bro. Like it's like more like it's more that goes into just you skills into being picked.
Intangibles
I
are something
don't.
we don't really see though. So I mean, it's like OG said, that's a scout's job though, man. But yeah.
But a motherfucker throwing 5,000 yards with 45 touchdowns get picked after you. That's it's
same
that happened with Deshaun.
I don't know what they see.
It's the same thing that happened with Patrick Mahomes, and Deshaun Watson over the ball. But yeah, okay, it's cool. I mean, it's cool. We'll see. He might be nice, but this Zach Wilson all over again.
But at least it's not your favorite team picking them though. You get what I'm saying? Like if it was your favorite team, I could see your outrage.
Yeah, they could be if they had their first damn pick and they don't. That's why they can't do it.
Oh, you're right. You not thinking about it. That's crazy. We probably would have had.
They would be top 8, I think.
I
think the Rams are top 8. Cause I know we pick 8th. I think the Lions have like pick 5 because of the Rams.
So Well, why you here? What you think y'all gonna do? Or what would you do? Okay, what would you do if you had to pick?
I'm praying Will
Like,
Anderson
you,
drops to number 8, and I'm taking Will Anderson to rebuild my defense.
so if he's not there, then what?
Probably trade now. Because I don't know of any
What
other
you?
pass rushers right now, but I would trade down and try to get more to just rebuild that defense. You know, you traded Deion
What about
Jones.
O-line?
O line is fine. You probably get somebody in free agency because you're coming off the dead money of Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. You're not as cap strapped anymore. Finally, so there are free agents in the division who are leaving. They'll probably pick some corners up, some defensive ends maybe. But Will
So
Anderson
y'all
would be
going with Ritter,
the
right?
prospect.
Y'all
I
staying
would
with
think
Ritter, right?
defensive end. Yeah, Ritter is probably stuck with. If there's no way to get Lamar Jackson, there's no other quarterback to go for.
They're
So
gonna get Lamar and D Hop.
nah, we don't need a receiver. We good on that. The young core,
London, and they got
the young
Pitts.
core right now
Drake.
with Ritter, London, Pitts went back healthy. We haven't seen him with Ritter yet, but Mariota was not throwing to him. And then Tyler Algier. So I think we'll be
I
all
truly
right.
hope y'all get a quarterback so
Y'all gonna get
Pitts
David
won't be
Carr,
let down as a
Derek Carr.
bust. Yeah, I need a
David Carr
quarterback.
to the
So
Ravens, Lamar to the Dolphins. You heard it here first. Let's end this shit, man.
in this shit, I got Lamar going to the Rams. Fuck it, come to the Rams, please.
Oh nah, yeah, I'm out.
I'm
Pressing
just,
stop record. He's tripping now. Nah.
them
They could
motherfuckers got
probably
Jason
they
Peters.
could yeah.
Jason Peters starting on the Cowboys.
Nah, y'all gonna
Yeah, I'm
have
about to
that
cut
man.
the
Oh
game
yeah,
on
he's
myself, man,
starting.
to get my life together.
Yo, yeah, love, peace, and soul. Sunday OJ is back forever.
Right.
And put some input, motherfuckers, not y'all, the users.
I'm about to go drop eyes in the chat and piss everybody off.